Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. We are so excited to be celebrating International Women's Day, but not just celebrating International Women's Day, but celebrating it together. That is just so amazing to me that we have this community of outstanding women who come together to support each other. And here we are on this storied International Women's Day where women all over the world are celebrating. And here we are celebrating together. I want to take a minute to have everybody who's here, who's happened to join us here inside the Ladies Power Lunch Zoom studios. I want to invite everybody who's here to just share quickly, really quickly, who you are, what you do, because we're really interested in knowing who's in our group. And three, what you're celebrating for International Women's Day. So, Gail, may I invite you to share with us? Let's have you start.
Okay, I'm a facilitator, a mentor, a life coach, and a retreat leader.
And what are you celebrating for International Women's Day?
Connectedness, being connected to other women and supporting each other in thriving.
Yes. Yeah, I love you're saying all words that just ping in my head and sound amazing. Jen, you're next on my screen. And I love when we're international. It makes me feel so amazing. So Jen's calling in from her home in Jamaica. Note the fan in the background because we're in Connecticut and trust, honey, there are no fans in our
No,
background.
do you see the fire behind me, Jen?
I saw that. Actually, that looks pretty inviting to me though right now. So,
Yeah.
it's always, we always want, what we don't have in front of us, right? Which is why travel is so important. Yes. So my name is Jennifer. I've known Davia for, my gosh, 5 years in the retreat space. And then I'm also a wellness travel specialist. So, this is near and dear to my heart. And what I'm doing today is just honoring and celebrating the crap out of every amazing woman that I know.
Yeah, I love that we're celebrating each other because I've been in a lot of spaces and there has been sort of like a unspoken rule, especially back when I was in a corporate situation, an unspoken rule where there's a suggestion that women don't want to celebrate each other and that, there's an opportunity to pull each other down. And if you happen to make it up to a higher rung, then you're kind of looking down at the other women who are behind you. And that has been suggested, but that's never been my experience. Every time I've come into community with women, what I have experienced personally is that women want to mentor me when when they're in a position to teach me something, and women want to learn from me if they're in a position where I might have something to teach them, and women want to embrace me and women want to be in community with me. So I think that's what we really want as women. I think that's where it's at. And I love that that's what you're celebrating today, Jen and Gail. Shannon. Hey, girl.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. I am a public speaking, communication, and confidence coach. And what I am celebrating today is health, life, friendships, family, all the people in my life, especially those amazing women who I can collaborate with, who I can laugh with, who I can cry with, who we can lift each other up, learn from each other. So that is what I'm celebrating today.
And I'm asking our friends who are joining us for in the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group, I'm asking them, what are you celebrating? So I want to invite everybody who's joining us over there to just drop in the chat, let us know what you're celebrating. So just before we hopped on, fun thing happened. I can't make this stuff up, right? You just can't. So I hopped on first and then Gail hopped on second. And that was fine. That was, we were early and we wanted to make sure that we were here so that everybody who is joining would join and we'd be here to welcome them and greet them. But here's the thing that happened. When I joined, I couldn't hear Gail at all. Couldn't hear her. And Gail has put forward in the past that she does have some issues with technology. So I went ahead and I made an assumption, folks. And how many times in our lives have we made assumptions, whether it's about ourselves or it's about others, that have been absolutely way off the mark? I went ahead and made an assumption that the problem was with Gail and she didn't know what she was doing because she's not good with technology. So I was like, oh, Gail, just log off, log back on, you'll be fine. But then Jen joined, and Shannon joined, and Tina joined, and nobody could hear me. They could hear each other just fine. Nobody could hear me. So turns out my assumptions were wrong. Gail's assumptions that she has created about herself and put out into the world are wrong. And I was the one who needed to hop off and hop back on so that we could all hear each other. And so my question to you, and I invite you, drop a comment in the chat. If you're joining us over in the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group, drop a comment in the group and just let's talk a little bit about things that we're assuming about ourselves, things that we're assuming are limitations that we have, that could we be slowing down our own progress in life because we've assumed something about ourselves. Gail, you want to make a comment about that? Because I see you over there nodding away.
Just laughing because this went right back to, school days, right? When somebody made an assumption about you, and because because I'm going to take it, I'm going to own it, because I know that I've had difficulty with computer stuff, as Shannon knows, throughout my time, but I'm getting there. I'm doing okay. I took on Davia's assumption that it was me, and I assumed it's got to be me. It can't be Davia. She knows more about this than me. So, I guess in life, I mean, that also comes down to owning, who you are and your own self-worth. But so that's a lesson for me, to reframe how I'm seeing myself with computer IT stuff, because you know what? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
You kind of are. This brings to mind one of our members, Michelle Lemoy. She's also one of the authors of one of our Ladies Power Lunch anthologies, co-authors with us, best-selling co-authors. And she posted very recently on her Facebook page a story that this brings to mind. She was younger. She works in construction. She's a woman in construction. So she's a woman in a male-dominated field. And I think she'll be okay with me sharing this because she posted it on her Facebook page for everybody to see. But basically, what happened was she went on a construction site, and she had a little bit of an accident. It wasn't, dangerous. She was fine. She's safe. Don't worry about her. She's okay. But she left that situation assuming that it was her and that she didn't belong on a construction site and she was in the wrong place. And then afterwards, one of the construction bosses, and I might be telling this story a little bit out of order, but the theme is the same. One of the construction bosses said to her, hey, there was a OSHA violation, and that's the reason why you had that accident, and we're so sorry, and that sort of thing. So it turns out that she was telling herself stories that weren't true at all. She does belong on a construction site and she does belong in that industry. And she is now in a position where she's supporting other women as they enter that sort of male-dominated environment. So I think this is a perfect lesson for all of us on International Women's Day. Shannon, would you like to share a little bit about how this is all hitting for you?
Yeah, I see this in my every single day. A lot of the folks that I work with, they tell themselves they can't, or they're not good enough. I can't get up and speak in front of a crowd. I'm going to freeze. I'm going to fail. I'm not good enough, right? I don't understand why they picked me and not somebody else, the whole imposter syndrome thing. And it's all here, right? It's all here. And I deal with it too, even though I teach people every single day how to overcome this and how to think differently and retrain their brain and reframe things and visualize what you want to happen, not what you think will happen. Let go of that fear. It's only human. So I say that because I want to remind not only myself, but all of you out there that you need to be kind to yourself and forgive yourself. When you have these thoughts and feelings, when you have these limiting beliefs, when you have these assumptions that you're making that you're not good enough, or I stop yourself and ask, why am I saying this? Am I saying this because it's true? Or am I saying this because I'm making wrong assumptions? And then give yourself the time to forgive yourself for thinking that way, because we all do it. Every single one of us, it's human nature, like I said, myself included. And I have to stop myself and say, why am I thinking like that? Right? And so we all do it. We all make these assumptions on a day-to-day basis. And I see it regularly, especially when it comes to public speaking. So
yeah, 100%, 100%, Shannon.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I think it folds beautifully into the theme for International Women's Day for this year. And the theme is that for March 8th, 2024, we want to renew our collective commitment to achieving gender equality and to invest in women to accelerate progress. So, the thing about investing in women is that I believe, and one of our members said it so eloquently a few years ago on one of these shows, that when women have money, the community benefits. Who here agrees with that? Yeah. Gail, what do you think?
Oh,
Why does the community benefit when women have money? I mean,
because women are predominantly other directed, and we want to support people around us. And when we shine, other people shine. And when that happens, it just keeps unfolding one person at a time in the community. So everyone benefits. It's the same thing with the positive attitude and being happy. When you're happier with yourself, other people are happy around you, and they can feel it. It's palpable. So yeah, women are amazing, generous healers, and we can heal the world around us, one person at a time.
yeah, I agree. Let's have Tina weigh in on all of this. Tina, you can come off mute, and if you can turn your camera on, it's fine. If you can't, we still want to hear from you. And I'm gonna
I
send
agree. I'm here. I'm sorry, I'm at work right now, but I just wanted you guys to know that I agree 100%. I raised my hand to that. I think that, we definitely need to take the initiative for ourselves, and definitely we need to, I believe that when women have money, the community benefits because we're generous with that. We reach out to people, we see people in need, and we want to pay it forward and want to give back to the community. And I always believe that, we're nurturers, and we, when we see there's an area of need, that's where we gravitate towards. And I'm a firm believer that when we're in a higher position, we bring the community with us, and we build the community as a whole. Um, I just think that that's who we are. Um, it's just I think we empower not only ourselves, but we empower the community, we empower where we live, we empower the organization that we're in, as a whole. And that's what I wanted to share.
I love that, Tina. That is so right on point. Jen, I see you nodding your head along. I know you appreciate this idea of women supporting women. What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that again, it goes into that ripple effect, right? Where women are just so much more inclined to give and to support others and to see others' worth, sometimes more than our own. So when we get it, we want to give it, in abundance. And I think women in general just are able to not hold on to that sense of greed over the cash flow. They want it to. They actually know that putting it out there is going to help it, expand, and it's beyond the money for most women, I think.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And the I love that comment Shannon posted in the chat about all boats rising with the tide and there being more than enough abundance for all of us. Recently we've had a workshop series. If some of you missed it, I invite you. You can just go to grsmarternotharder.com/login, and the links to each of the self-appreciation workshops is right there on that page. But while we were having that conversation about self-appreciation, what the conclusion that we were able to come to is that unfortunately, a lot of women in business, their businesses are not rising as fast or as much, or they're not making as much income as they would like to. And if you even look at statistics that are available showing how many businesses make it to $1 million revenue, we're not even talking about income now, we're just talking about revenue per year. The last time I looked at the statistics, it was like 4% of women-owned businesses actually make it to that level. So if our theme for this year is supporting more women-owned enterprises, then we need to try to see how women can do more and be more, because I truly believe, and everybody knows this about me who knows me, that when we are doing business as heart-centered women in business, we shine our light, it lights up others. The people that we light up, they're able to light up their people, and on it goes until the whole world, me and my grandiose ideas again, the whole world becomes a better place. So there is an opportunity for us as women in business to do more, to be more. And the conclusion that we came to on our 4-part series is that it starts inside. And that if we are able to step up our personal self-appreciation, everything on the outside changes, including the way that our businesses look and the way that our businesses run. Shan, you're nodding along. You look like you have something to say about that.
No, I'm just in full agreement with all of it. I think that also as women, we tend to worry about the way we're perceived if we're very business minded and money minded because of the way our culture has treated us towards those things when we are strong and being a strong, domineering woman. And so, guess what, ladies? Get out there, do you, don't be afraid of it, because the only person holding you back at the end of the day is yourself. You can let all those naysayers say what they want, let it all go, let the haters hate. Be yourself, own what you know that you are good at, own your success, and don't be afraid to step into that power. That's why I'm nodding along, because I'm like, yes, we as women, we tend to hold back for fear of that judgment that might come in. But myself included, we got to be better at just like, listen, I can do this. I deserve this. I can own this. And guess what? If they want to think lesser of me because I'm owning it in the same way that a man would, let them.
You're
And
absolutely right. Yeah.
I love that. I love that, Shannon. I'm sorry, Gail. I didn't
No.
mean to talk over you, but what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that, Shannon, you're right on. You're absolutely right on, because you know what? We all know that when we're powerful and we're shining, there are people that that can look at us and become envious and say things that are limiting. And you know, we're sensitive, so depending on where we're at with our self-esteem or in that moment, that judgment can affect us. And the truth is, when we really are shining our light, as I spoke about in one of our session, our I'm calling it a session, our shows, is that when we shine a light and we touch one more person, and that person, as Davia said, touches one more person, in 365 days, if we keep doing that and one person shines a light on another person, we can go around the world in 365 days and touch other people's lives just by starting with ourselves. That's unbelievable.
That's just math, though.
Yeah.
And you all know how much I love math. As a matter of fact, many of you may have heard my collaboration math, which is amazing. So if you haven't heard it, reach out. It's pretty cool. I love that. I want to also acknowledge some of the comments in the chat. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine and I'm gonna share it with you. All boats rise with the tide, and there's more than enough abundance for everyone. A girl should be two things: who and what she wants. And that's a quote from Coco Chanel. I love it. And then there's also a quote that a comment that says it's a ripple effect, and another comment that says pay it forward. There's just so much opportunity for us to support each other. And I really, really, truly do believe that where we have to start when it comes to supporting women-owned businesses is we have to start inside with each and every one of us as women in business. But the beautiful thing about it is, and check my segue, folks, the beautiful thing about it is you don't have to do it alone, because we are in community together. And so I'm going to pull a card, see what the cards have in store for us today, what message the cards have for us for this beautiful, beautiful International Women's Day. And then when I'm done sharing that, I would love to take a moment to also share with you an opportunity for you to transform your self-appreciation through improving balance, setting compassionate boundaries, improving the beauty in your life and the brilliance of your life by coming with us on retreat. And our retreat is going to be amazing. So let's see, what do the cards have to say? Oh my, oh my. I can't make it. You guys saw me pull the card, right? You saw it kind of just popped itself out of the deck. This one says, you are the light, be the light. I mean,
Yeah.
this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine and I'm going to share it with you. I feel like it's perfectly in in line with what we have been talking about here. And it says, by the way, it's from the Love Your Inner Goddess deck by Alana Fairchild, just in case anybody wants to grab this. You are going through spiritual initiation. This is happening because you're ready for it, even if it all doesn't always feel this way. The way to pass this test is to rely on the light within you. Don't let fear or doubt make you distrust the path ahead. Don't give in to despair or believe things will not work out. Like, don't believe that you don't know how to use the mute button on your computer. It's probably not you, right? You are learning to trust that the universe knows what it's doing. There are great and beautiful things meant for you. And no matter what appears to be right now, they will come to you in the perfect way and the perfect time. Keep your faith in the light. All will be well. I love this card so much. Anybody have any thoughts that this card is evoking? And I'll post it in the Ladies Power Lunch group afterwards.
It's right on. It's right on as usual. That we have the capacity to touch other lives in such a huge way as women. I mean, men have their own way, but we have a very special way of healing each other and connecting with each other. And once we get past, you know, teenagehood, and we learn the maturity of who we are and who we're not, we get that we don't have to be in competition with each other. We can be there to support one another. And what a wonderful difference that makes in the world.
Lovely. Tina, you had a comment too.
Well, yeah, that just, it makes me think of like my faith, and I believe God is my light, and I believe that he has perfect timing, and that just kind of leads me to my faith and my true belief that that is absolutely the truth. And, you know, I totally believe that, you know, and it's our time to shine, and the light is our guide. And he's always out for our best interests, just like we as women are always out for the best interests of ourselves and others. And, you know, it just makes me, it brings warmth to my heart.
Yeah.
Yep, I had to put on my shades because the future for women is so bright. So let me just take a quick moment I mentioned that it all starts inside. When we think about being able to grow our businesses, it really starts with our own personal self-development. And I invite you to do it in a fun way, do it with us. Come on retreat with us, Ladies Power Lunch, for our next retreat, which is coming up in, when is our retreat? In
May 27th.
Our next retreat is coming up in May. And let's see, I can share my screen a little bit and just give y'all a little more information about our retreat. So here it is. So our retreat is going to be an opportunity to transform your own patterns and renew and re-energize your body, mind, and spirit. We are a fun group. So yes, we're going to be really spending some time to go deep into what it really takes to get life balance and set compassionate boundaries and improve the beauty of our lives and focus in on what our brilliance, passion, and purpose should be. But folks, if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. So my intention is for us to have a great time while we are doing that, and to get us unstuck, whether it's in our life, our relationships, or our careers, get us to this place where we're no longer overtired or overstressed or overwhelmed, and get more fulfillment and inner peace and self-love. And who here does not want that? If you don't want that, it's okay to raise your hand, but I also notice no one's raising their hands, so there's that. I tell this story all the time, and I don't tell it just to share a story because I feel like hearing the sound of my own voice, but I share it because I think that it's really in service of everybody else. I am a workaholic. That is what I am recovering from. And I went through a phase where I was working so hard that I actually found myself with an autoimmune diagnosis as a result. It happened to me. Most of you won't get to that stage where you work so much that you're in burnout, but you might get to the stage where you have headaches or you feel tired all the time, or there's just some vague malaise a sense of unhappiness with your situation, probably not loving or feeling as excited about the thing that you are doing as your work that you used to be so excited about. And so that's one of the reasons why, because I transferred my life on retreat, I just feel like retreats are the way to go when it comes to shifting things like that. So Gail, who's going to be one of our co-leaders on this upcoming retreat, she's had similar experiences too. And I think is a reason why both of us went through this burnout. She got an autoimmune diagnosis as well. Her diagnosis was lupus. She shares this story quite openly. And if you want to hear more about that, I suggest that you reach out to her because she could tell you. So we've been there, folks. But what we know is that this doesn't have to be your life going forward. And we know that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting this different results, nothing's really going to change. So we invite you to come with us on this beautiful retreat. And I was talking to one of the women who enrolled today to hop onto our retreat, and she shared with me that one of her clients is now not so well and has never really spent time enjoying himself.
Mhm.
Can you imagine that? So now he has all of this accumulated wealth, but he's never really lived in his life. So I want to let you guys know that I am somebody who appreciates nice things. And so I really want this retreat to be nice for us. And we're gonna have really nice accommodations, and we're gonna have spa access, and we're gonna have access to really healthy food, and we're gonna feed our bodies, and we're gonna feed our minds, and it's going to be outstanding. And if you go to our website, growsmarternotharder.com/retreat, you can get a lot more information about that. And also, if you have questions about the retreat, there are many frequently asked questions that are answered here. But if the answer that you're looking for is not readily available, then I invite you to just reach out to me or Gail or Jen, and we'll be happy to share more information about this with you. Any questions coming up for any of you? Any of you have any questions about the retreat, or have any questions that other people might have raised about the retreat? Jen, you look like you have a question. You look like it. I don't know. Someone says in the chat, it sounds amazing.
Yes.
So the question is, does it sound amazing? Yes, it sounds amazing. So there we go. Answer that question. So yeah, our early bird registration ends on March 11 at midnight. So if you would like to hop on board and be one of the amazing souls who's going to go on this journey of balance, boundaries, beauty, and brilliance with us, then I invite you to go on over to our website, growsmarternotharder.com/retreat. Easy to find us. And I'll also post the link in the chat below. Any final words, Gail? Any final words?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
I just want to say to you ladies, I know how much we do in the world. You've heard me talk about this. And sometimes we take time for ourselves, but this is a real opportunity. It's never going to be the exact right time, and it's never going to be the exact right amount of money, but to invest and take the time when the opportunity is here to give yourselves the special heartfelt gift of giving back to yourself is immeasurable. It's an opportunity of growth on a spiritual level, an emotional level, a cognitive level, and a physical level. I thank God and thank you, God, was healed of lupus. And I know that it takes things like this and times like this that you need to step up and say, this is for me. And this is about me. So if there is a way for you to do this, don't look at all the excuses and the blockages that come up naturally and judgments from anybody else. This is your time. And when that time is, when we're done with this, there, yes, you'll have another opportunity, but if you can, don't miss this gift to give to yourself is really what I'm saying to you. I'm looking forward to it. It's a gift for me, and I love sharing my gifts with you and vice versa. So it's going to be a wonderful opportunity. That's about it, Davia.
I love it. And Jen, can I have you just, Jen is our retreat concierge, and she's already been connecting with folks who have signed up to be part of our retreat. And I have been privy to some of the conversations, and she's so caring and loving, and I really appreciate her stepping up and helping with this. Jen, any last words before we log off today?
Yeah, just do it. This is such an amazing opportunity. I've worked with several retreat leaders, and I can, wholeheartedly say that the two of these ladies are going to rock the boat in the best of all ways.
I love it.
And everything, right? So, I'm here to answer any travel questions that you guys may have. That's my part, and my role is to kind of help you with that and help them lead the ship. Okay, so just reach out if you have any questions. We'll clarify, and looking forward to seeing you guys.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for International Women's Day. We went a little bit long, but I feel like, you know what? It's worth it because we are in community with each other, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful place to be. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Jen, Shannon, Tina. I love you all. Thank you, everybody who joined with us over in the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. And if you want more information about our upcoming retreat, just go to growsmarter.com/retreat. And there'll be tons more information over there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and I'll see y'all on the next show. Bye, everyone.